Good evening here from Los Angeles, Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and aspiringmagazine.com. I'm very excited to have our guest tonight on a special night, and I would like her to introduce herself, please.
Hi, so nice to meet you, and thank you for having me on. My name is Danielle Baynes. I'm a filmmaker, writer, director. I'm Australian. And yes, my film, The Dog, my latest film, The Dog, is premiering tonight at Holly Shorts Film Festival, which I'm very, very excited about. I've been working on this film for probably 2 years now. So to have it out with an audience is very, very exciting.
Yes, yes. And I'm one of the lucky ones that's been able to see it already. So, I want to talk about it a little bit at the beginning here. Over the course of one night at a 24-hour clinic, a struggling veterinarian, Claire, who's played by Kate Walsh from Grey's Anatomy, is one of her bigger roles. She contends with the pressures of her shift and a persistent inner turmoil. This short film speaks to the pressure of a difficult but necessary aspect of the veterinary profession and the inner struggle that it certainly must inspire in those who practice it. Danielle, what a great story. I can't recall ever seeing a film that deals with the difficulty that vets must experience when euthanizing a beloved pet. What was the inspiration for this film?
Yeah, thank you. Well, definitely in your comment there, I was also not aware when I started on the journey of writing the film how critical the issue was in terms of suicide and depression in the veterinarian sector. I started off wanting to write a film that explored how animals teach us about loss and grief. That was my seed of the idea, and that came from lived experience of my own. And then through that process of researching, I spoke to a lot of vets. I knew I wanted to set it in a vet clinic at that moment where you put down a beloved pet, and I knew that the vets were there as an anchor in that emotional storm, but I wasn't aware of what they were also going through. And then after talking to a lot of vets, they made me aware of this, and I knew that actually that is the story. I just wanted to shift the camera to their experience, so I could create more awareness around this issue. But also it resonated with me as my parents are in the medical profession in human healthcare, and they had experienced some burnout and depression throughout their careers. So it was something that I had some awareness of in human health, but as I started to talk to vets and research a bit more, the factors and the statistics and all of those factors around it were quite specific to this industry. And we interface with our vets every day. A pet in America receives emergency care every 2.5 seconds. They are such important people in our lives. And so one of the big drivers was to create more awareness around this issue.
Well, thank you very much. It's important for us to think about, and I want to just tell you what a wonderful cast. Each actor emoting their grief struggles at the pending loss of a treasured pet. And with Kate Walsh, I mean, she's so brilliant in this film. Her face telling so much of her story. How did you manage to cast her for the short film?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of her work for a long time. Her TV work, the great Grey's Anatomy, all the great roles that we know her for. And it was a bit of luck on my behalf in that she'd just recently moved to Australia at the time that I was casting and developing the project. And I had known that, when a Hollywood celebrity comes to Australia, it makes the news. And so I had known that she had really immersed herself in our local industry, which I really admired as well. And so I took a chance, and I was lucky through a mutual friend who had connected with her in Australia. I was able to get the script to her, and with no expectations, of course, but with a real vision of seeing her in this part. And I knew that she's so skilled and she's so charismatic on screen, and she really allows the audience into whatever emotion she's playing, whether that's comedy or drama, but we just have incredible access to her inner life. And as you say, this role, it's not dialogue heavy, and it kind of goes to quite a heavy emotional place. So she really resonated with the script, and we started to collaborate on it, and it was incredible. And, you know, with short films, you have a limited time in terms of shooting and other constraints in that way, but with someone so skilled and so experienced, it was just incredible to work with her. And I'm really proud, actually, of her work and what we've created.
Yeah, and all the casuals, just amazing, amazing. Is this a proof of concept short, would you say? Will there be a like a feature treatment for the dog?
I have thought about that idea, whether it would be, say, a feature film or a TV series. I haven't landed on the right idea yet. I'm not sure if it's something that's strong as a standalone piece. But what I do know is that from developing it and from speaking to so many vets, there are a lot of stories to tell, and there's a lot of stories to tell on the pet parent side as well. So watch this space potentially.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd sure like to learn and know more about the subject matter. And the music really sets, the tone for the film. Can you talk about the soundtrack?
Yeah, absolutely. The sound design and the score, I had thought a lot about in the writing. Sometimes when you're doing that, sometimes it becomes really obvious how a film sounds when you are writing, and sometimes it's not that obvious, and you find that much later on. But in terms of creating this inner emotional space for the lead character and having access to that, I definitely knew I wanted to build this soundscape of animal noises and just kind of the tumultuous stuff that's going on in Claire, our lead character's head. And then how the score would complement that, it was interesting because sometimes it had to be really restrained. So in the opening scene, which we're just in a clinic room, where a family are sadly putting their pet down, I didn't want any score. I knew that had to be quiet. But then I knew that once we get to the end of the film, where it's a slightly more surreal, heightened moment, that's when I wanted to bring in some music that could really elevate and really reflect what was going on screen. So I worked with an incredible composer who's done all of my the last two films of mine. And yeah, he just knew kind of what I wanted, and it actually fell into place really quickly. But knowing where to be restrained and where to let it all go, I think, is an instinct that you develop as you go.
Yeah, really smart music for our watching it, just really hit home. So are you thinking about working up anything next? What's your next project or?
Yeah, at the moment I'm definitely in a writing phase.
Oh,
I
nice.
yeah, which is great because like I said, I worked on this film for a while, and you're at the point of releasing it and chatting to people like yourself, um and it's lived in your mind for a long time. But so working on something new and fresh is kind of like a balm in a way. So I'm writing, I've got a couple of projects in development, definitely longer form feature films, and a couple of series that I'm working on as well. So that's sort of my trajectory at the moment. I really want to take everything that I've learned in the short form space and and get into the long form. So that's exciting.
Beautiful. Good. Well, you make sure you keep us posted
I will.
with HollywoodTimes.net and our YouTube channels, the Hollywood Times Official. And how can our readers and our viewers find out more about you, this film, and other things that you're going to be working on? What's the best?
Yeah. So for the film, there's a website, www.thedogshotfilm.com, and myself on Instagram at Danny Baynesagram, or you can search Danielle Baynes on Instagram, and the Dog Shot Film on Instagram as well, where I post lots of updates about the film and where it can be seen.
Love it. Love it. Well, I'm not going to take much more of your time because the film's going to be showing here in Los Angeles in just a couple of hours. So
Yes.
If I can get this out fast enough, I'm going to tell our viewers, get over there, get over to the Wood and Highland Project there with the Holly Shorts. So
Yes,
check it out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Danielle, for all your time. And hopefully maybe one day we'll meet in person, but it's been a joy to meet you here and to be able to see your inspiring film. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.